How do you get a person's car that they owned into your name after that person has passed away? This is probably one of the most common questions that we get. You know, mom owned a car, she passes away, son now wants to keep the car. How does he put the car into his name, right? So there's a lot of things that go into this, but it's actually relatively simple, or in theory, it should be. Depends on your state, first of all. So I'm speaking primarily to Florida, but I think a lot of states are similar, but you'll certainly want to check with a probate attorney licensed in your state. First of all, in Florida, creditors cannot really go after cars. They are what's called exempt property. So the good news is creditors are not going to be going after the car. Now, the exception to that is if it's a lease or there's monthly payments, that are owed on it, the car's financed, they can certainly take the car back, repossess the car if those payments are not made. So, but the good news is creditors are generally not going to be able to come after that. The second thing is insurance. Obviously, you want to keep insurance on the car. Now, the insurance was taken out in the name of the person who purchased the car or who is leasing the car. So you got to look at the policy to see if a lot of insurance policies that I've seen on cars, they stop when the person dies. They don't transfer over to family members or anything like that. So you'd want to take a look at the policy, and you're likely going to want to get a new policy, but you're only going to be able to do that once you get the car into your name. So how do you do that? Well, if it's jointly owned, husband and wife, then you probably don't have to do anything, right? It's a lot of joint assets. If they have right of survivorship language on there, or if it's husband and wife, when one of the spouses passes away, the property automatically passes to them. But most of the time, that's not the case. Most of the time, when we're getting a call, it's again, mom died, son wants to take over the car. Well, if it's a lease, it's a little bit more difficult, right? You'll want to contact the finance company and the car company, because when they leased that car to your mom, they pulled her credit report. They pulled her finances. They did all that stuff on her account, and your credit might not be as good, or they might not have lent that car to you, sold that car to you. So you want to speak with the lender. Most of the time, what I've seen is the lender's not going to just automatically transfer it to you. If it's a lease, you're going to have to probably give it back. But if she owned the car, if it wasn't a lease, then normally what you'll do is you'll need to get a copy of the registration, a copy of the car registration, bring a copy of the person's death certificate, go to the local DMV, the tag agency, and you'll be able to transfer the car right then and there to your name. They'll have some forms that you'll have to fill out, but normally it's a pretty simple process. Right now, it becomes a little bit more complicated if there are multiple siblings and they're fighting, or there was a will and the car left it to somebody and you want to keep it. Then you might have to get the court involved. But in a typical situation where everybody gets along and the car is just going to one person and it's really simple, all you need to do, take a copy of the registration, take a copy of the death certificate, go to the local DMV. They've got some forms that you're going to fill out there, and they'll transfer the car to your name. So hopefully that's your situation. It's as simple as that. If you have questions, reach out. Be happy to speak with you, and good luck.